Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, and today's video we're going to be taking a look at this article that gives us a bit of a look into Spider-Man Miles Morales. Now if you guys remember, Spider-Man Miles Morales was initially teased during the PlayStation a live event where we not only got a teaser for this game, but it's also the same live stream where the PlayStation 5 was finally revealed. Both versions, the digital version and the one that comes with the disc. Like so, if you're someone who prefers to buy the actual physical discs, then you can get that one. Or if you're someone who isn't into that anymore, you can just buy the digital version. Even though I do recommend buying the actual disc. At least that's how I would buy the game. And it seems like we're finally getting a bit more details about this game from people who are actually working on the game. Now, this report comes to us from Bounding into Comics. As always, guys, this is a great site. Go show them your support. Whether go follow them on Twitter and go to their website if you ever want news, like actual news. Not don't go follow any of those mainstream articles, okay? Because they're all just absolute garbage. So, Spider-Man Miles Morales to come bundled with a remastered Marvel Spider-Man. So yes, they are indeed going to take Marvel Spider-Man, which was initially made for the PS4, and they are going to update it in order to take advantage of the PS5's technology. So you will. So even though it's technically the same game, it is going to hopefully offer you a better experience using the PS5's technology. So a new report details that Insomniac's Spider-Man Miles Morales will come bundled with Marvel Spider-Man, and this comes from Game Informer after conflicting statements from Sony and Insomniac Games about what the game will actually be. So they basically go on to confirm that yes, this is going to be its own standalone game. You can see the tweet right here. Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales is the next adventure in the Marvel Spider-Man universe. We will reveal more about the standalone game at a future date. This is the original tweet that was posted by Insomniac Games. And then afterwards, they did go on to talk more about this game. You can see right here. This is from Brian Horton, who is the creative director for the game. And he says that it is indeed the next essential adventure in the Spider-Man universe. So it is a sequel of sorts. It's not technically a direct sequel because it is going to star Miles Morales, but it is in the same world, and it is, I guess, continuing off from where the game actually left. The original game. And we knew we needed to tell a standalone story of Miles becoming a hero. He then made it clear we wanted to make sure when you played the game, you felt like you were playing a brand new Spider-Man game. So I'm pretty sure a lot of people were sort of kind of worried that maybe it was going to involve pretty much the same game mechanics. Like it won't really be anything new, but it seems like they're trying to reassure us that it is going to be a brand new Spider-Man game. He would also write, we know a lot of you want to know how big this game is. Our team at Insomniac has been working incredibly hard to bring you a fantastic Miles Morales adventure since we concluded development on Marvel's Spider-Man. Excuse me. You'll also experience a full story arc with Miles, one that's more akin to a game like Uncharted The Lost Legacy in terms of overall scope. So if you played Uncharted Lost Legacy like I did, I guess it should give you an idea as to what the scope of the game actually is. So for me, like I wouldn't say Uncharted Lost Legacy was as big as any of the mainline Uncharted games, but it was on its own. Like it did feel like its own standalone game, even though it is technically an expansion on the original mainline games, and it did utilize a lot of the same game mechanics that we saw in Uncharted 4. For example, like the car, and you have the winch and everything. Like if you guys play the game, you know what I'm talking about. Is an important, heartfelt, emotional, and essential experience to expanding the Marvel Spider-Man universe, and we hope it will be for you as well. For those who didn't play Uncharted Lost Legacy, the game was originally conceived as DLC content for Uncharted 4 A Thief's End. Naughty Dog Director of Communications Aaron Mayer told IB Times UK back in April 2017, years ago when we were asked if we were ever going to do a single-player expansion for Uncharted, we always said, well, we don't have the self-discipline to do that. If we tried to do that, we'd create a full game. He elaborated, there's no way we could sort of constrict and restrain ourselves, and that's exactly what was happening here. When we were doing story pitches, we were coming up with a game that would be over 10 hours long, so we suddenly realized everything we said was true, and we couldn't keep it short. While Mayor would indicate that the game would be over 10 hours in length, many players reported it took them between 4 to 7 hours to finish on normal difficulty, with many indicating that their longer playthroughs were based on how much exploring they did. So, yes, yeah, this does make sense because one of the things that I absolutely loved about Marvel Spider Man wasn't necessarily the story, even though the story was fantastic. For me, one of the things that I loved to do, and I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one on the, I'm pretty sure I'm not alone on this. One of the things that I loved to do was just doing the web swinging, was just exploring the city and just going around and swinging. And this is that like that for me was that for me was without a doubt the best part of the game. Like I could just sit down for hours and just do nothing but web swinging and maybe take on the crimes and everything. And they do get a little repetitive. I think that's a complaint that a lot of people had about the game, was that the crimes that get you do was kind of repetitive. But whatever, because when you weren't doing that, just web swinging, that alone was absolutely fantastic. The website How Long to Beat says it takes 7 hours to beat the main story and can take up to 16 hours for a completionist. So if you're someone like me who was playing the game, and like, because for me, one of the things that I did when I first bought the game was I put the story to the side, and I pretty much took care of all the side stuff because it meant that I would get to explore the city, and I did want to complete it. Like I did not get back to the game. I did not get back to the story unless I 100% completed every other side mission that you could, like all of those buildings that you had to take photos of, all the crimes, all the warehouses, whether it was the demons or Fisk's goons. I had to take care of them. I absolutely loved it. I couldn't stop. For comparison's sake, Marvel Spider-Man How Long to Beat details that the main story of Marvel Spider-Man takes 16.5 hours to complete. You can see the stats right here. The main story and extra content takes around 24.5 hours, and for completionists, it takes around 32.5 hours. While it's unclear how in-depth Spider-Man Miles Morales will be, it might be concerning to some fans that a new report details the game will come bundled with a remastered edition of Marvel Spider-Man, possibly hinting there isn't as much content as some might be hoping. This new report from Game Informer details Miles Morales isn't a traditional sequel since it comes bundled with a remastered version of Insomniac Spider-Man that takes full advantage of the PS5 hardware. While Game Informer would echo Horton's comments about Uncharted: The Lost Legacy, they didn't have any extra information on how rich the content experience will be. They stated, while we're still not sure how big the game will be, but Insomniac described it as a standalone game, implying that fans can expect a meaty experience. Okay, so that's basically, I think that's basically all we need to know. Again, you can go read the full article for yourself. It's on Bounding into Comics. Seriously, guys, go over their website, go show them some support, because unlike certain mainstream websites, they don't feel inclined to actually lie to you about what might be happening. Like they don't post BS articles where they just go ahead and blame fans for a franchise sucking. It's just go to Bounding into Comics. It's a great site made by people who actually care about their fans. Trust me, just go to their website, go show them some support. Now, what do I think of this? Well, I think I already gave you guys a bit of a hint in this actual video. I absolutely loved Marvel Spider-Man. I cannot wait for a sequel. Seriously, Insomniac is killing it lately with their games, and I honestly cannot wait for the sequel to Marvel Spider-Man. And yes, I will be getting this game. And also something else when it comes to this game is, you guys already know I'm gonna buy it, but I wanted to ask you guys, because usually I do my game streams over on Twitch, but like really, nobody ever actually goes there. So I'm starting to think maybe I should just move them over to my over to my channel right here. So again, that's only if you guys are actually interested in it, because if you don't, then I'll just I can just play the game on my own. It's fine. But if you guys actually want me to stream my game live here on this channel, all you got to do is let me know, and I'll be happy to oblige. So, with all of that said and out of the way, one thing I forgot to address. When it comes to the actual content of this new game, even though I'm not expecting it to be like as full of things to do as the Marvel Spider-Man had, as long as it has a good story, and as long as the game is actually just fun to play, which I believe Insomniac games would do. I believe Insomniac will at least make the game fun and enjoyable to play. The keyword being fun. So I will be getting this game, and if I do buy the game, I will be doing a review of the game on this channel. So with all of that said and out of the way, thank you so much for joining me. As always, guys, you have been awesome. Please remember to leave a like and share the video if you enjoyed it, and and make sure to head on down and leave a comment letting me know your thoughts on what we discussed here in this article. And also, if you want to support the channel, all you have to do is subscribe. And if you are subscribed, please make sure to check you're still subscribed, because I still keep hearing YouTube is unsubscribing people for some reason. Whatever, I don't know. It's YouTube. Honestly, I should be expecting this at this point. So just check to make sure you're still subscribed. And if you watched up until this point, God bless you. Consider doing so for my future videos and some of the other videos that I have on this channel. So, and I think that's all I have to say. Take care of yourselves as always, and please consider joining me for my next video. Bye.